Bigfoot with a fan. And that's what we did. We went out together, and it's like 12 investigations later. He won't leave. Do you know how to get rid of him? So what the hell's going on here? I left you alone for 1 second.
Podcast here, sir.
Yeah, I left you alone for 1 second. You take the show over, goddammit. Saying, the best I can think of is tweakers are out in the woods making tree structures. That's what that's what you meant.
You know, it damn sure wasn't a bunch of Boy Scouts. I told you that.
Suddenly go flowing that way.
Right.
You guys will know.
Yeah.
Well, red alert. The producer's here. Bobby Lee.
These millionaires don't know what Prime is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are these lowly people drinking?
You know, something like Dog Man, right? And I have no dog in the fight, so to speak.
Yo, what up? What? I don't know what you mean. I dressed as a cryptid tonight. Yes, I'm a cryptid. I'm a unicorn cryptid. Yeah, that's what I am. These things are pretty cool. I found them. And it gives you like an extra set of eyes and a thing in the middle here. Right. Welcome to Banter with Richie B. We're about to banter. I said that kind of like I was Dracula or something. Welcome to, you know what I mean? Anyways, anywho, welcome to the Get Haunted Network, everybody. That's right, I'm able to get down to crazy with some guests. Yes, welcome to the P3 platform and the Get Haunted Network. That is correct. Oh, by the way, thank you for giving me 500 followers on my Banter the Richie B Facebook page. We're still climbing on YouTube, but we got to get that going up. So if you know anybody, like and subscribe to that YouTube page. Let's get my co-host out here. And he's not going to look as cool as I do tonight, but we'll have him come on anyways. And then we'll give you a little premise of the show and how we want it to go, how we envision it to go. Doesn't mean it's going to go like that, right? Because here we just do stuff. That's what we do. We just do stuff, right? We have a lot of fun. We talk serious, we respect one another, and we have a good time, man. That's what we got to do. We got to have a good time. Well, that's right, Jim. Back to you, Bob. Welcome to the show, Wojo.
What's up, my brother?
Boom.
Yeah.
Dude,
What's
that was
up?
coming.
How we all doing today?
Of the boom down. What's up? What's up, Sir Wojo? How are you? Damien, good morning. Damien, you want to say hi to some people on the side?
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, Damien.
Let's say hi. Oh, hi, Henry. Let's say hi to Henry.
Hi, Henry. Hope you're fixing the hair, Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
Hi, D-Hoot.
Yeah, whatever, Henry. Listen, I thought Henry here first in country boy. Are you still here, bro? I've been talking to you, man. I got a little pixelation going on. Let's go. Andy is here. Big Andy's here. Country boy's in the house. Henry's in the house. Big Andy's in the house. I've been talking a lot pre-show, so I have to like scroll around looking for people's conversations. DeHoots and Hizzy. Arthur Mills, our friend Arthur Mills and Arthur Mills. Arthur Mills show's pretty cool, man. I was catching some of his show, man. He's got some cool ideas on how he's going about that little tactical plan he's got going on, man. I tell you what, man, that whole story is nuts, bonkers even. So thank you for stopping by, Sir Arthur. I knight thee. Right? And our friend and teammate from Boots on the Ground Bigfoot Investigations, Lisa Garcia.
What's going on there, Miss Lisa?
Now coming to the ring. Yep. Let's go. Hang on. I got to pull up a promo. There it is. QR code. Check it out. Let's get the party started. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm a cryptid.
It's just QR. No and.
It's just QR.
QR.
I'm being corrected by my executive producer. Yeah, I
Rich
have a
has
producer
a
and
live
an executive
audience.
producer. And I do. I have a live live audience. Well, that's right. We're live here in the household, being told to do things.
The Banter.
The Banter House. Buy the merch. Boom. Who am I?
Buy the merch.
And then here we go. Check it. Now listen. The other thing I haven't gotten up yet this week. I can't scratch my head with the horn in the way. The other thing I haven't gotten up yet. So right now, Massachusetts Cryptid Fest 2024, September 14th, 1 p.m., 291 Mill Street, Rainham, Massachusetts. Free entry, cash bar, all ages, RSVP through Facebook. And we will be broadcasted live there. That's going to be super cool, just like we did up in New Hampshire. And wait, Courtney's here. Everybody stop what you're doing.
Miss Courtney Peterson, how are you?
Peterson's here. She's live from the Get Haunted Network. This is where she says, enjoy the show, people. Please share. Any comments, direct them directly to Wojo, because Rich is completely out of his mind. Wojo we still vote for. Right? So check it out. All right, so cool. November 3rd, by the way, we will be Steve Barnard, teammate, timeout. Teammates here. Steve Barnard, what's up, my man? Boots on the ground, Bigfoot investigator right there, Mr. Barnard. And lest we forget, he is the man behind the candle. How's that? Is that a good promo? A unicandle. You need to make the horn quick. Lovely Essence, everybody. Check out Lovely Essence. It goes towards and helps veterans, as his wife is a kick-ass veteran. So make sure we all jump in and help out and buy a candle. And it goes to a good cause. And I believe, like the way he said, his money kind of is directed towards the training of service dogs. So make sure you help out and buy a candle from Lovely Essence. You got to check it out. Soy candle, Amish, all that good stuff. Okay. Rich, you wearing pants? No, ma'am. I have my unicorn and no pants.
No pants in front of the live audience. The Squatchy Chandler, that's right.
That is correct. The Squatchy Chandler, I asked him what a candle was. That's a candle maker, apparently. And he's going to be specifically making Bigfoot candles, right? So that's going to be amazing, right? Now, we got to do different shapes of candles like Bigfoot candles, or just are they going to smell like Bigfoot? We're going to have the musty dog scent or the very strong piss smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bubba.
Yes.
Awesome,
yes.
Yes, sir. So check it. November 3rd at the Warner Paranormal at Hartsuff Hall. I think it's 34 School Street, Rockland, Massachusetts. This country boy, did you get my bro? I sent you an email. Did you get it? And are you leaving soon for your probation parole dinner or something?
Come on, country boy, get on. Bam, let's go.
I sent you an email. Coco, as in Squatchy Poo. Oh, I got you, man. All right, you got the email. Okay, cool. So check it out. So November 3rd, we have a 90-minute block at the oh God, I'm gonna mess it all up. Damn it. I should look at things before I come on here and open my damn mouth. You know I should, right? Whatever. I'll get it all together. I think it's the Southeast Paragon is the name of it. That was earlier. Okay. But you had made it sound like, Ronald's another one that comes on our live investigations. We should have Ronald come in. Can Ronald come in, or is Ronald, your camera still broken? And can you do incognito conversation? Is that what you want to do? I could send you one through Messenger. So here it is. So November 3rd, we have a 90-minute block. I'll be talking Bigfoot about the Bridgewater Triangle. We're going to have Phil with 2 L's. Phil Anderson, our friend, who could use some prayers, by the way. So Phil with 2 L's, if you could get your prayers up for him. He's been going through a couple personal things and some health issues. So we want to make sure that he's good to go. I hold him near and dear to my heart. He's a good man, a good human being, and a good friend of mine now. And I'm blessed to know him. I don't have a camera on my computer. That's fine, though. Last time you did all. Do you want to? You can do audio if you want, Ron. Are you down with that? Do you want me to send it to your phone and then you can just do it that way? I built this computer. All right, Ron. That's like added unnecessary information. I can give a rat's ass.
You'll never get a clear answer from him.
Right.
Pepperoni and mushroom pizza.
East Coast Parrot Expo. Way better. That's why Courtney's here, because she's the queen of all of this stuff.
That's right.
All right. November 3rd is my birthday. Happy birthday to D-Hoo. Happy birthday to D-Hoo. Happy birthday, dear D-Hoo. Happy birthday to you. Now, don't say we didn't sing happy birthday to you. Moving on. What do we meet to? What he's talking about. The Wojo. You are correct. It is the Wojo. All right, so listen. Let's get on with the show. Listen, watch the thumbnails coming up for the November 3rd event. We have a 90-minute block. We'll talk about the Bridgewater Triangle. We're going to talk about Bigfoot. I'm going to try to get some of the investigators down. We're going to have casts we're going to show. We're going to have all kinds of evidence to share. We're going to have a Q&A session there. It's going to be 90 minutes of banter. Chaos, I say. So be ready for that, okay? Be ready for that. Okay, cool. Check it out. So here's the premise for tonight's show. You know we go live in the woods. You know we have people on the phone all the time, watching through the cameras and being part of our investigations. It is an interactive investigation. We don't mess around, right? Speaking of not messing around, I should probably take these off now and get serious, huh? Yeah, let me get serious.
No, you look better with them on.
I know, but you want to play some music while I take them off? Maybe some Bad Little Bone? Oh, you want to do that?
All
right, you're done.
Back to the show.
What do you want me to do? Sorry, my
thank you for that striptease of the sunglasses, Richard. Back to you, Bob.
So, thank you very much, Damien, for that. Damien, I was gonna have you come in, but I kind of got another show planned for you, so I don't want you pissing on my Wheaties from Scotland tonight. All right, sir?
Yeah. I want to call him the Scotland Yard Smith right there. That's the man right there.
Oh, okay. I see you working there. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to acknowledge our virtual investigators, right? We wanted to acknowledge the virtual boots on the ground investigators from all over, because they can't physically always be there with us, right? So tonight, what we're going to do is pull people in that have done in live investigations with us through the camera, and we're going to pull them in, and we're going to talk about what they see, things that maybe they have learned, whatever it might be, whatever kind of topic, we're going to ask regular questions, stuff like that, just like a regular guest. It's that we're going to try to get more of their perspective as opposed to anything else, right? Yeah, this guy, love you, Mojo. This guy, love you, Mojo. You better say love you, Banter with Richie B is what you better say. I'll put these Yeah. All right. Now I'm jealous. And here's my new co-host, Henry.
There he is. It is Henry.
How many pictures did you take off the wall before the show?
You gotta wash that wall, thank you. That's all cigarette stuff back there.
Oh, gotcha. Give me the link on Facebook. I'll come in if you want. Yeah. I'll do that. Give me a few minutes. You stick around. You got nowhere to be, right? I mean, come on. You going out to get pizza again? Henry, my friend, welcome to the show. One of our very loyal virtual investigators, by the way. I don't even know if you've missed one. Have you missed a virtual investigation?
One or two, I think.
I don't think you have. Maybe you might have come in late before. You know what I mean? But I swear he's been on every investigation we've ever had. I mean, he's pretty kick-ass, loyal virtual investigator. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Henry, tell me something. How do you, when you know we're going live, do you like just prepare for it, or you just pull up your phone and do the dishes? Like, what's going on in the background when we're kicking it in? You know what I mean?
I do a lot of research online. I've got like 6 different crews that I've been talking to about the Bigfoot stuff. I go through them a lot, actually. Ask a bunch of questions. We've got one guy, he's been doing this for 17 years, where they've been chucking stuff at him for the first 3 years, and finally they started working with him little bits. It's like he has to act childish so they understand he's not going to harm them, type of deal. And he's gone quite a ways. And just recently, I found out that when you lose your picture on your cameras or all your electrical stuff when you're out in the woods and they're near, well, that's radiation shutting everything down. So I just learned this, and he just finally said, yeah, it reads up way high or spikes when they come around. I said, well, what about with what they touch? Or if they like play with a toy, is it radiated? All this stuff. So we're going to be talking a little bit more together about that, but that's the newest thing in there.
So let me, I'm sorry, Henry, hang on. So to clarify, you're saying that this gentleman told you that when Bigfoot is around, radiation spikes?
Yes.
How did he determine that? Can you tell? I know you
well, he has a Geiger counter.
A little bit.
He has a Geiger counter, and he was trying to figure all that out because it'd make him sick. When they come around, it would make him, just sick to his stomach all the time. And he finally grabbed one of those Geiger counters and found out it was getting him.
Oh, wow.
Spikes.
Really?
And I was wondering, about, they come in and touch different things or at certain spots. Is it killing everything around there because the radiation's too hot? It's like when you go to your wood stuff and there, you get all the trees, stacked up certain ways, the X's. It's usually dead all around there, right? Is that because of the radiation?
That one area, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's an interesting theory. No, that's it. No. Listen, we're open to any theories, and you know that from watching us live. You know how we think, and you know that we're open to most any concept, really, and to have that and to see like the college. You remember the college, right, Henry? The college area is like a dead area almost, and the rest, everything else around it is green. So I can't see that you're far. I can't see you're far off from that theory, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Joe?
What I saw and what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a terrible. I don't think it's a terrible theory.
I don't think so either, because I mean, we do have like dead zones behind Rich's property, and as for the other area that we've been like where the college is, there is like a lot of dead wood where they make these like strange structures and what have you, but you just never know. It's kind of interesting of a Geiger counter. I mean, it's an interesting theory.
Oh, I see it. No, I think it's a great theory. And what's up, Sean Kelly? Make sure everybody checks out Into the Night with Sean Kelly, Sundays and Tuesdays at 8:10 p.m. Great dude, and
awesome. Dude.
Yeah, he's enthusiastic as well. I might add, very enthusiastic about this subject, and I'm super pumped that we had the opportunity to be on his show. And I'm sure Henry caught that show, right, Henry?
I caught quite a few of them actually. Even if I miss them when they're happening right then and there, I'll go back and watch them.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's around worldwide.
So I don't know. All right, so Henry. So I don't know. My service is spotted right now. Whatever, we'll try it, bro. Listen, we're not here for perfection, country. I don't know if you watch my fuckery of a show at times, bro. I mean, sometimes I get kicked out of my own damn show, and everybody else gets to stay. You know what I mean? It's probably happening again now. But no. So yeah, we're not worried about perfection. I'm on the outside ready to push the enter the studio button. Andy, just hang on the side for right now, bro. But no. So yeah, so during our shows, well, that might be one thing we bring, right? Maybe we get a little Geiger counter and we start hitting the prints and seeing what we can find. You know what I mean? I don't recall ever getting sick. Some people are more sensitive to other things than mine. Guess you'll need to borrow a guide. Yeah, that's what exactly, D-Who. You know that. You know I'm on it. Yeah. And you're right, Damien. It would show something. So definitely very interesting theory. So Henry, when you watch our shows, right now, you set up. Do you set the notify button? You hit the notify button so you know when we're going live?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So what do you do? What do you do? Do you just kind of chill out in that same room you're in now and just watch it on your phone, or you have it up on your computer where the screen's bigger? Or like
I get it up on the huge TV right across from me. And I try to use that because I can see a little bit better. You know, things aren't quite so small.
Gotcha. Yeah, it can be.
Henry, how big's your TV?
Yeah, how big's your TV,
maybe
Henry?
45, 50 maybe.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, like to go out in an investigation and knowing that you got a big screen TV, like you can really really scan everything very well and on a bigger screen. You know, like we have our phones and what have you as video and so on and so forth. Even though we are out in the woods, but from your perspective, having a 45-inch screen TV, that's awesome. I mean, and thank you for like coming aboard and being with us.
More importantly, Henry, how good do I look on TV, bro?
A little ragged right now.
Thanks, bro.
Something with your hair, dude.
Richie, you make this poor guy lose hair.
He's just fucking jealous. He's jealous.
The cheddar.
That's friggin'. I love the delivery. Yeah, a little ragged right now, bro. Didn't even flinch, man.
Henry, like in a lot of the investigations that we have done, I mean, is there any like certain investigations that like stand out the most since you've been watching us?
Well, let me go this a different direction. Hold on a minute. I've got Bigfoot problems up here. Okay. My folks are being roared at every once in a while. They're coming around the home, banging around stuff. And they're in the woods out behind the big old farm they've got. So I walked it and rode it and walked it the whole 9 yards. I ain't seeing no tree structures. I'm not seeing any tracks. And I looked pretty damn hard, and I found one spot that I could not take my eyes off from. I think it's where he roared from at the house. It has cover for him, like a big blowdown, and he can stand right there and you never see him. And I think that's where he roared from. But and then coming to your show and seeing what you guys are dealing with, I've never seen that before. None of it. I don't even have a track up here, but it's here. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, So I ask a lot of questions. If I see something, how can it relate to my situation up here? Because I'm a hunter. Let's face it. Before I started talking to my folks down south that are having, Bigfoot around their home all the time, they said, don't shoot it because there's going to be more than one of them. Right. And you're not going to be able to handle more than one of them. So I'm, like I said, I can pull the trigger real easy. It's just, they're bothering my parents. They're 78 years old, 79. And, I don't want to play around. So watching your channel and watching everything you guys are dealing with, suggestions, I throw as much stuff as you guys are finding. It's just I like them what I'm seeing. I like how you guys go about finding different things. You got to be a little bit more careful, I think. But I mean, you guys are doing pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You just
appreciate that. No, we appreciate that.
because they're gonna run you into the ground if you try to chase them. But yeah, it's just
Correct.
I think they'll come around more if you. Well, it's like at your house even. Their curiosity, brings them closer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good situation there, and as long as you don't get them too upset to where they're making your equipment, blink out, I'd say stay where you're at. As far as that, if your stuff starts blinking out, you might have to take a step back a little bit until things calm down. Because I worry about you guys. Hey, you got kids. You're out there. You're putting your skin on the line every time you go out there, and you just never know. I mean, one of those guys have a bad day, and it'll kill you, or unalive you, however you want to call it. But that's the biggest thing. It only takes them one bad day, a bad hair day even, and you're going to get hurt.
Well, I think that.
Yeah, no.
And thank you for answering that, Henry. I just think when me and Richie, when we do our investigations, I mean, we come in to do the research, obviously, but we bring in, fun, positive attitudes, and we do a lot of talking in the woods, of course, and what have you. But but showing that respect of what's around us, which we know that they're watching, and I think if we came in bringing in showing guns and showing intent of harm, then I could see that they'll probably
that could go sideways.
That can go sideways, but I just think that that they show they're looking at us as curiosity and what have you, and Richie, you can add to that if you like.
Well, thank you, Wojo. I appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be your co-host tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you, and you too, Henry. Thank you both very much. All right, sorry. I've had about 18 rock stars. So listen, so I think Henry brings up some great points, and as you do as well, Wojo, and that's for me dealing with a particular family that I've dealt with for a while. I didn't have many concerns until the juvenile started growing up, and he became like a crazy teenager, right? I think he's the one that I worry about going rogue, the one I worry about having an incident with. He's the one I believe was beating the hell out of a tree, which is not like a typical tree knock. That was different. That was aggressive. That was I'm pissed off. I've never dealt with any of that stuff. I've been flanked on a couple of occasions. I was afraid, but I realized afterwards that I could have been dead, and I wasn't. So I think some of the things like what Damien says is that the body frequency is not seen as a threat to them. And that's a great point that Damien brings up, because they are a little more in tune than us as humans. I would imagine they have a lot more gifts than we do in a sense of like that. Frequency is probably a huge thing to them. So I don't think they've ever put off that or got that aggressive anything from us. They know I respect them. I always wave to them. I did the gift and stump. I always say thank you to them. I'm always respectful of their land. I don't destroy their structures. I don't do anything like that. It's always respectful. So it brings up that point. And like Henry said, because I remember Henry, when I had that fight or flight, which was at a different location other than my property, which I still think they're connected as far as the family goes, but it felt different over there. And I remember you saying to me, hey, you got to be careful. You got kids, bro. Settle down, because I kind of wanted to go towards them. And eventually I did. But it wasn't in an aggressive manner, you know what I mean? Because I teach my kids, you see an animal, a dog, you back up, you keep your eyes on them, and you just slowly back away. You don't ever turn around and just run tail, because you'll be done. And that's the same with any creature. And I think if these creatures or a half creature that's still going to have that attack instinct, right? So I think it's huge that you bring that point up. And now I'm going to get a friggin' Geiger counter, Henry, because that's a great point you bring up too. And if you start looking at all these different things, because there's been times I've been in these situations where I get that confusion, where I don't know exactly where I am sometimes. You know what I mean? And I've even seen Wojo do it. He's on GPS. You know what I mean? You see he's on GPS, but sometimes he's kind of... Yeah, there you go. I've heard that phrase before.
Getting zapped, confusion, lost feeling, like you don't know which way to go in the woods. The people who are dealing with the radiation part of it, they're saying eat natural sugars, and it can kind of snap you out of it a little bit to where you can get out. They said the apple, I didn't have an apple when I got zapped. I grabbed 2 mouthfuls of coffee sugar, and after the second one, dousing it down with a sweet drink, I came out of it. But yeah, I was so confused, shaking like a leaf, and it messed me up. So I
is that happening up on your Henry? Sorry to cut you off. Is this stuff happening on your? Is there all this stuff happening at your house?
My folks' house is 10 miles away, 5 miles by river at the most. And I've got 1,500 acres behind me that nobody's walking on.
Wow.
So what I've made a mistake is my dog picked up on something down at the bottom of my lawn. 3 times he picked up on it. And I had this little perimeter, like a flare gun thing with a little cap in it, makes loud noises, whatever. And I touched it off, and right after I did it, that was it. I was shaking like a leaf. I was confused. Got myself inside, and that went on for about 2 hours. And so I made a call to the guy that was working with him for 17 years, and I said, "Hey, this is going on." And he said, "Take some sugar, apple if you got it." And like I said, I took 2 mouthfuls, and I came out of it. I got tested down at the VA the day after. I says, I need to find out if I'm, diabetic. I need to find out all these things. Why is my sugar off, or is something off in my body that'll cause this type of reaction? I came back fine on all the blood work and all the tests that they gave me. So I was thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
But that's all you can do is try to disprove it. But when I came out of it like I did, it was noticeable.
Yeah. And you're way up in northern New Hampshire, right?
About 3/4 the way up.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the west side of the state.
Well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know right where you're at. We have that conversation, and I have a tent. That's all I'm saying. I have a tent, and I'm not afraid to use it. Okay,
I mean, just a few things to add, like for Richie, okay, Henry, is that they came to him, okay. So I just think that there was like a build-up relationship that Richie, kind of like trying to be that good neighbor, sort of sense, and I just think that gifting and getting some responses, things like that where there's no threat of that, and going back to getting lost in the woods and being zapped. And I have to admit that we haven't been into his property in a few months, but I'll tell you right now, a lot has changed as of that the path that we walk around is different. And I'm very well aware of the woods, but I mean, at the same time, Richie's like, I swear, the river's over here. I go, no, it's not. It's back there. As positive as I am, I felt like I dropped it down to like, 70%. Like, geez, everything does look different, and you kind of like get all like, like, wow,
throw you off.
Am I right? You just exactly. You throw it up.
Yep.
Like pretty good. So, but
Well, I got a compass.
Hey,
I got
country.
a GPS thing. So if the electrical stuff is not is bugged out or whatever, compass is right there.
Yeah.
Just know your readings and you know how to get back out with it. That's what I suggest. You know, especially
Well,
if you get turned.
that's why I use my phone. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's just
Yep.
what I got a
100%.
box of stuff right here beside me that's, you know, always charged. Then I just throw them on the pack and go. But yeah, it's just little stuff just in case, you know, because you don't know what you're going to get handed once you get out there with them. You just don't know. You can always, you know, try to be
100%.
safe about it and think about it. But when you're walking in their tracks, you know, tracking them down, for me, it's like stuck in that 400-pound bear. You know, you got to go easy. Try to see it way before it sees you.
What were you about to say, Rich?
No. I was listening to Henry, but before that, I was going to welcome Mike Swanson to the show, another member of Boots on the Ground Bigfoot investigators. He was asking where Henry was from, so I talked to him privately on the side. I didn't want Henry to, tell everybody where he's from. So
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all. But no, I love. Listen, I love all this stuff. I love having this conversation. I see Country came in backstage, but I can't see Country. So he said he was having some spotty internet issues. So, Ronald, I will speak to you about that. Not on my show, but we can have it on the show sometime because that is an interesting subject. But thank you, Ronald, as usual. Right? Oh, Lisa Garcia jumped over to YouTube. I guess she wanted to say hello, boys. Unless the other one was an imposter, right? So earlier, Wojo did ask a question, and I know we kind of got off as far as these interesting subjects in your area and things. Is there something in our investigations? Is there a spot? Is there a part of the investigation or part of a particular investigation that you enjoyed the most, or you found was the most exhilarating or most interesting? Is there one particular spot that kind of stands out to you, Henry, when you think of that?
The college and your tracking where you're finding the tracks. That
crazy,
college
right?
blew my mind. That just blew my mind.
It's my. And the other question is, when you coming down to hang with us, bro? We're gonna take you with us.
Yeah.
Come on.
I just need an address. I already got the Massachusetts map. You know, I got the
boy's
topo
ready.
map so I can see what's going on down there. But yeah, I just need an address.
Awesome. So we will put something together the next couple. Yeah, Country's gone. I think he was having problems because I couldn't see his face. But then again, I don't know if he was coming in on audio. But we'll put something together the next couple of weeks because I think it'll be very beneficial. Like you said, you had mentioned to me on the side a few times, and I think through Messenger, it would be a lot easier for you if you're boots on the ground and understanding what's around you. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's absolute. What other thing I want to do too, Andy, if you're still out there, click the link, Andy. Andy is part of the Boots on the Ground investigations. You guys know him as Big Andy, Big Daddy, right, Andy? I wanted him to come in tonight, and because he has a different perspective, so to speak, right? And he's been in the investigations with us, right? And he's watched them virtually, right? So he's got kind of a perspective from both sides, which few have. Right, I was going down the list. I don't know anybody else on the side. I mean, I guess Lisa, because Lisa used to watch him before she came part of the
Sam has
group,
watched
right?
them a couple times.
Oh no, Sam definitely has. No, I'm talking about both. Done them with us and watched them. So what y'all gonna do soon, sir? Absolutely. And then Andy was here. Now he's gone. So all right. Here's the. Let me speak some technical shit real quick. So I've been going crazy with this crap in and out of my studio, right? So I am currently exploring other options besides StreamYard because it's driving me freaking nuts, okay? Just bear with me until I find the right platform that will bring the podcast on because I'm not exactly impressed with the way StreamYard's been acting lately. So please be patient. I'm looking to fire them soon. I pay a lot of money for them. They're not cheap. and I'm dealing with all kinds of weird shit that goes on. I feel better. Thanks for listening, guys. So anyways, the other one is Mary, my sister Mary, my one of my best friends in the whole world, Mary Newberg, is on a lot of our investigations. Mary, I sent you a thing on Messenger asking if you would want to come into the studio tonight and perhaps talk from your perspective. My friend Kevin just stopped by. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for stopping by. He's another one I'd love to have come in. And Big Andy, I don't know if I lost him. He was here, right? Oh, there he is. Are you there, Andy? There he is. So here's Andy. Everybody knows Big Andy, Sense and Shadows Paranormal.
What's up, Andy?
There, check out the OBS.
How's it going? Yeah,
I did that OBS stuff, man. Yeah, I did. Yeah, StreamYard's been acting weird. So I have a list I sent over to Bobby Lee to investigate for me as the tech producer, and to say, hey, which ones work best, and what's the ratings on all these ones. And some of them, it's really cool. You can actually get in on them, and you can work towards getting monetized just through their podcast, like platform like this, So it's kind of cool like that. So, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll check out all the. If I'm paying $500 freaking bucks a year, then I want something that's going to work properly. You know what I mean, so it's just that simple. Nobody wants to pay $500 for a real girl doll and have it not work. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Okay. All right. Oh, here comes D-Hoot. Hi, Chatty Andy. Oh, stop with you right away, Andy. She come right at you. So, Andy, do you know Henry? You haven't met Henry personally, but you do now, right? No, you met him. Did you meet him at Charming Fair Farm?
No, I just missed him. He left just before I got there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Ships in the night.
Yeah.
Ships in the night. So you have a unique perspective, right? Oh boy. Here we go.
What happened?
Oh, it's just Ron just talking tech stuff to me during my show. It's like it means nothing to me out here. I love that he helps me and stuff, but I can't retain that. For one, I'm not as smart as him, and for two, I got like 1 billion things going on. So, thank you, Ronald. I love you. There we go. Moving on. Now you all know my true love for Ronald. Damien says good morning. It's always good morning with Damien. It's a guy, he never sleeps. I'm confused by that human DNA makeup, honestly, Damien. So your perspective is you get to be you've done some boots on the ground.
Yep.
And you've done some virtual, right? Boots in the air, right, so to speak. So now, obviously, on the ground is the best, I guess. Being right in it is the best. But what is your perspective when you go live? When you see us go live and you jump on, right? Now, how does that? I'm going to say how does it compare, but I guess it doesn't in a sense. What do you get out of the virtual that you probably could get out of the boots as well? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I see a little bit more.
Compare them in a sense.
Yeah, I can see a little bit more because I can see what Wojo's doing and what you're doing. So you get to to both sides there. And like a lot of times I end up watching them because I work crazy hours, so I end up watching them after the fact. But like when I heard that knock, did you find that one?
The 2050, no, that was on the live stream. I have not. I promise I will look tomorrow before we hang out. You know what I mean?
Good.
That's the other thing is Andy's coming down. Andy's coming over from Connecticut tomorrow, and we're gonna go out tomorrow late afternoon into the early evening. No, Mary, I didn't send you the link yet, Mary. I asked you before I sent you the link because I'm a gentleman, Mary. Would you like me to send you a link, Mary? I can't send out directions for my show because I don't have directions. Have you not noticed? Jeez. I said I don't tape. Damn it. All right, sorry. I'm back. So basically, what you're saying is when you're there, you can see Wojo over here, you see me over here, you kind of go in back and forth. I mean, you still had a very good perspective, apparently, of me falling into the water that time because you had a great screenshot of it. That was good. So that went well, right?
Oh yeah.
We got Russ Stiver in the house. Stiv Dog, what's up, Stiv Dog?
Hey,
How's that waxy
Stiv?
body of yours, boy? He's all waxy and stuff. Hey, do you slide around the top better, by the way? I just asking for a friend. Sam's pretty paranormal. Sam, what's up, Sam?
Hey,
Sam is in the hazy. Mary.
Hey, girlfriend.
No, it's not. See who? It's not StreamYard's fault. I did not send the link yet. All right, I did not send the link yet. So don't feel bad, Mary. He asked me earlier on. I still don't have a link. I'm known as the last resort. Jeez. No, bro, that's it. Hey, that's to the girls of Hanover back in the day, bro. Not me. All right, settle down. All right, last resort. Settle down, Mr. 2 a.m. All right, so listen, so Wojo has a question for you because I'm gonna go link up with the crybabies and send that right up. Wojo, it's your show. Have a good time. Bye.
All right, so Andy. Jeez, you put me on the spot, Rich, because I was too busy listening to you. All right, so Andy, obviously, like both perspectives and stuff like that. Oh no, what?
Nothing. Shut up. Go. Do a show. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. You just like spoke in the middle of when I was talking. I think you had something to say. So, yeah, get that frig off. No. So Andy, obviously, like both, you've been out with us, and obviously, watch virtual, whatever. But what is it that stands out the most during those live investigations that kind of like you sit there and go, wow. I mean, you try to compare apples and oranges of what you're watching, watching live compared to like being out there with us out in the woods.
Well, like I said, you can see more on the live because you're not moving around and you got a good perspective of everybody else's, what everybody else is seeing.
And what like really stood out in your mind though, Andy, when you're out like live, right? Like, is there any investigation that like really stood out the most during your live investigations?
I don't know. The ones where you get a lot of evidence, of course. That last one was pretty wild.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
But Richie did a whoop, and I heard a knock right after it. That's the one he's looking for.
Yeah.
And there was
it was pretty wild, and
yeah, it was a lot of activity that day. Well, that was the day you guys kicked one up.
Yeah. And what do you think about the time when we went to the Charming Fair Farm, where about 9 of us investigated out there, and tell us what you heard, and what was your thought process of taking it all in of what just happened?
Well, that was pretty wild. We came upon that tree that was over the path, and Richie did some tree knocks, and maybe half a minute or so, we heard a snap, big loud snap, and a crash to the ground. And like myself, I stood back and I said, wow, I took that as a warning, but we went further anyway.
So for all the people that we at the Charming Fair Farm, and we all went out on an investigation, and all of a sudden Richie did three knocks, and then like 30, 40 seconds later, core of a tree popped, and it was so loud, and we all like, what was that? And then then you heard the crashing of the tree, and then boom, and it was like maybe about 50
Hey, can you
yards
have
away
Max come
from
down?
us. And it was just kind
Yeah,
of
Max, come down.
like looking at everyone's like faces, especially yours. You're like, what
Yeah.
the heck was, you know, we were all taken back because we didn't expect that as a group, you know, that
Right.
large.
And
And so, yeah, I mean, that was a crazy investigation. And it was like really like awesome that, you know, that all of us were there together.
right.
You as a fan and, you know, part of our team now. And I'll tell you, it just, you know, we had to talk at the campfire. We were still blown away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So hey, no, listen, this is awesome. So I got a couple of people backstage. I think Country's having trouble where he is getting in because I keep seeing him pop in and out. Okay, but Damien has a question. Max, come on into my studio because you brought up a interesting point. Come on over about that incident at Charmin Fair Farm, right? And this young man was standing right next to me during that time. You remember Big Andy?
Yeah.
Right, and Mr. Wojo and Henry is this is Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry, this is Maddox. So when I'm gonna have you say, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'll let you wear the headset, just because I don't have the speakers set up any other way, and that would suck. On site, yes, Max is my on-site text person. But real quick, Damien says that the hairs still raise your hairs on your neck every time, or has it lessened, being subjected to it more often? It has not lessened. I am like the first time every time I feel. The other night when that thing ran through the woods 50 to 60, 70 feet from us was actually bone chilling. I felt like I had to defend myself in a sense where I was just like, what was that? And then I remembered what it was. And I truly believe it was one of them. And it calmed me down. I felt a little more at ease, but my hair was standing up. I had goosebumps all over my body. And for me, no, it does not lessen. I think it's amazing, and I'm grateful to be chosen to even be part of it. I bet he will be. Yeah, you're right. So Max, come here, buddy. Come on over here. Is my camera's too low tonight? Have you noticed that? Yeah. Your head's getting cut off because you're not tall. You're like what, 4'3"? No, come here. Yeah. I want when you come here. So say hi to everybody. Come over here. This is my son Maddox's world. Yeah, I'll adjust the camera. Hey, you sit down. You're doing the show. Oh. Yeah, sit down. Sit down. So when you were in the woods that night, and you were on investigation, and Dad did 3 tree knocks, right? Explain to everybody what you heard, so they can hear it from a 13-year-old's perspective. Go ahead. Speak loud and clear, though, so everybody can hear you.
It was just like a huge crash, like if something like. It was like chopping down a tree, but it wasn't like a clean chop. It was like crackling, like it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I really have nothing else to say.
Was it loud?
Yeah.
Was it loud? And did it happen quickly?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you associate it with the sounds that I made?
Yeah.
Do you see that being connected?
Yeah.
In a sense, right? And what did we all do? Do you remember what happened? How did we all react to it? Besides the swear words. How did we all react to that? You say we were stunned and kind of frozen a little bit, right? And that's with seasoned veterans too. That even after all the years of investigating, you could still get caught up and kind of freeze, right? So would you say that was probably the experience of the summer for you? So when you go back to school, everybody's gonna think you're a loon, right? And I bet you it's a moment in your life that you'll probably never forget. Being out in the woods with your dad, Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
And a bunch of crazy people. So that's always fun, right? And then what happened to the guides that were out there with us? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, they left.
They left, right?
Once they heard it.
Yeah, once they heard it, they were gone moments later, really, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to get your account to that. You did a
Max.
great job. You have podcasting. And but go get a real job first, okay?
Maddox.
Love you.
Maddox.
Thank you, Max. Everybody, thanks, Max.
What was that?
Yeah, oh, you have a question for him, Mojo?
Yeah, I was going to ask you
have
a question.
for
Yeah.
him?
Yes.
Yeah, he wants to ask you a question.
Sit down, boy.
Yes.
So Maddox, so when you heard that popping sound, right? and you're making me dizzy, kid. No, remember that popping sound, right? And then that crash. I mean, you know, because you remember you doing the whoops and stuff like that after the fact. Were you kind of like still nervous that of that crash that was going on, so on and so forth? Like, you did a great job doing those whoops. Did that still like you still had fear in you, or you were more like, wow, this is like awesome?
A little. I was kind of scared after, but then I was like fine. Like once it like everybody like calmed down, I started calming down too. So
yeah,
exactly.
Awesome. Anything else? Anybody else have a question?
Because Maddox, like we're all trying to process of what just happened. But you know what? You did a great job whooping, by the way, pal.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, put Dad on the phone. Good job, kid.
That's right, Jim. Yep, you did good, buddy. Love you, bud. Thank you for that. Well, there you have it from a 13-year-old. You don't get much fresher than that. So that's
so. Rich,
crazy,
what I was asking him was, like after the tree popping and then it crashed, and how everyone was kind of like trying to process what just happened. He ended up doing some whoops after, which he did a great job. So my question was,
he did. You're right.
That, like, were you still nervous that there's something out there and you're doing these whoops with all of us still there? Like, the processing part. I mean, how did you feel? And he was just like when he answered. He did a great job, by the way, too.
Yeah.
No, he did great, man. And I just happened to think of that when you brought that up. I'm like, he's right here. We might as well have him part of our show, right? Let's get some other guests coming in. Henry, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. I'm just going to make room so we keep the screen rolling. And then we'll try to get you back on the side without just randomly jumping back into the backstage. Because I don't know what that's about. I'd say Henry, within the next 2 weeks, let's get together. Let's get you down here, and then we'll talk about us coming up there. I'd love to see your place as well, dude.
Fine.
Really,
Henry, thank you so much.
Awesome.
And the audience loves you, too.
For being here.
Yeah, great guy.
And off he went. All right, so Country just got kicked again. I just went to grab Country. And then I'm going to grab my... Mary, you ready, Mary? Shake your head yes or no. You ready, Mary? Mary, why you bugging?
Yay!
Hey, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you, Mary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Hello, Mary.
We're doing great. All
right, Mary, we don't discuss any secrets of the past, okay? This is not the place for that, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're a perfect person.
That's my girl! What's up?
Oh my God, you're corrupt! Whoa!
Yes. You paid me to say that, Wojo, just saying.
Whoa!
You paid me to say that. So if anybody don't know, Mary, when I was young and I was homeless and I was a mess, I was very active, and addiction, alcoholism. Mary and one of my friends, Steve, they were together and had children and stuff, and they would help me out immensely whenever I needed a couch or whatever the question, whatever it was. Mary's like the blood that runs through my heart. You know what I mean? So she's my sister, and I love her dearly, and I owe a lot of my life to her and people like her. Uncle Bob, if you will, right? For Jeff, remember Jeff Benson? So same type of thing, right? Gave me that opportunity and those nights to be alive. So that's enough of that. I just want to give a little insight on who Mary was and the importance of Mary to me. And the cool part is Mary gets to follow me in my craziness continuing into the 50s, right?
Exactly.
And you're there. And you're there all the time. I love it, Mary. How do you like the lives? Are you loving this?
I love it. I look forward to it every time you come on.
That's awesome.
I see your
So
passion.
cool. You see what?
Your passion. It's so
Your
good.
passion.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I needed that. Yeah, no doubt. And what is when you get involved, you actually get pretty involved, and I know you quite well, like you know me quite well. So when you see that different side after all these years of knowing each other, it's so cool because I'm like, oh, Mary's into this, man. Mary's like locked up in. Like, I love it, right? You're asking questions, you're pointing things out, right? What now? Do you have to get the question? What do you love about it the most?
I love how you get involved. I'm loving seeing your podcast. You're seeing these big feet, these structures.
Big feet.
Your big feet, Rich.
No, you see, I'm gonna get you, Richard. You're seeing all these big feet and casting them.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing the
I love it.
structures. How many people would see structures like that?
And well, they don't pay attention to them, right, Mary? They don't pay attention to them. They're not stressed. They're like, that's supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Well,
and it's like to see that.
So every time I go
Go
out,
ahead.
I'm looking around like, do I see a structure? Do I see a dream catcher? Whatever.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So, Mary, is there anything that we need to know about Rich? Because I want to write them down.
I'm not allowed to say on camera.
There goes the pen.
No, I'm not even worried. I am not even worried about it. When it comes to Mary, I don't even worry about it, my man. Trust me. Trust me.
You're a beautiful lady, Mary.
Thank you. I don't remember anything from the past.
Nope.
Oh, Rick,
Right,
Richie.
exactly. Because you know why? Because we keep climbing. Boom! All right, back to you, Bob.
What was that, Andy?
I said, Richie, you fill us in on your own.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I fill you in a lot of my history in life because I want people to see, no matter where you've been, no matter what streets you walked, or there's always a way out. You know what I mean? If I could do it, 9 out of 10 can do it.
Right.
He can do it.
And not only that, like Ron. Yeah. Thank you, Mary.
So, Mary, let me ask you this: what is your favorite part of the investigations that we do?
I like seeing you guys go out. I like seeing the different structures. I remember there was one live you did, and Richie's phone stopped, and there was no noise. There was nothing in that one area. And then every time he went back to that one area, it still didn't have nothing.
Interesting. Yeah.
But when
The phone was being played with. Now, was that with the Phil Anderson investigation though?
I think so.
Was that with the Phil Anderson one? Yeah, I think that. And I'd go over here and I'd have problems. No, 2 L's. Stop it. So you go from here to there, and you guys kept saying whenever I moved, that's what I think that's the last time I heard from Walter Burke. That's what that was. I remember now. That just hit me. You're right. That's that investigation right there. Very good, Mary.
That's awesome.
What have you found on the lens? What visually through the phone? What have you seen that you were able to see as clear as day? No explanation needed. What was it? What stands out? Was there the particular structure that you saw that we showed you, a particular footprint, a sound that you heard? What stood out on the phone that you could see, and how did it come in?
You did the structure with what was it, the dream catcher? And then you came back a few weeks later and it was gone.
It's broken, yeah.
Explain what happened.
Yeah, interesting. And the 40-foot X we did that with as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the 40-foot X? Yeah. So that's cool. No, I think that's great. So you passed the test. Country says he's staying out over there. Yeah, because I kept trying to bring you up, Country, and every time I did, you disappeared. So that's cool, Mary. So I'm glad you paid attention. I'm going to give her an A-. I would have given her an A+, but I'm very tough like that. So
maybe
I'll give you the A+.
Maybe
she's there on every one.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
she's got an A in my book.
Rojo, maybe I should drop a secret or two.
Oh, boom! Wow, I can't believe you dropped Mary. Are you nuts? Wow.
No, I love you, my brother.
I love you.
You saw what I did to him at my wedding, so
Ah.
Oh, the wedding? What did I do? What did you do to me? I was innocent.
Pink, big ones, pink under.
Oh, the bloomers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave
Oh,
me
well, I
away.
still look.
He gave me
Yeah,
away at my
I did.
wedding and made me cry. It
I
was
walked her
a
down the
wonderful
aisle.
wedding.
Yeah.
And as
Thank
soon
you. And
as
I love you. And there was an.
And as soon as my foot
Go ahead.
gets better, I'm coming to an investigation.
That'd be awesome.
Let's go. Well, that would be absolutely kick ass.
Let's just expand.
Yep,
Expand the group. I love it.
I know, right? I love it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, so she had asked me to walk her down the aisle, and I got the opportunity to do that at her wedding. It was amazing. So I'm truly honored, and I love you dearly, and you know I love you so much, and I got your back for life. Thank you for coming on my show. Thank you for coming on my show, Miss Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Mary, give me one. Keep climbing. You got to say keep climbing.
Keep climbing.
Give us a boom. Boom.
Boom.
Buy the merch. That's a great one. That's no boom. Buy the merch. Because Mary said so.
That's right.
Oh, my God. I love you,
Love you. Thank you.
Nice meeting you, Mary.
So, Stan, I sent you a link, I believe, in your messenger. If you want to click that before that black cloud rolls in. We have Ronald coming up, and Ronald likes sound. He doesn't. He has camera issues yet. He's very good with computers. Just saying. Hello, Ron. How are you? Can you hear us?
That's you, Ron, all the way, kid.
I can hear you.
It sounds like the guy, the one in the beginning. Yeah, I can hear you.
Why do you keep? Why are you muting yourself?
Because I'm unsure. Because I'm going through my soundboard. I'm unsure if I'm going to pick up an echo, and I don't want to echo. Because then it'll start pinging out on your stream. So every time I speak, I'll unmute myself, and then I'll mute myself when I'm done. That way, you won't get any echo feedback. All right. Let me handle it.
We have the perfect podcast, so that makes sense. So without going off about technology, without going off about all these other things, stay focused, Ronald. I want to know your perspective when you come on and you watch us live in the woods, man. I want to know where your head's at, what you're doing at that time. Are you walking down the street with the dogs? Are you waiting for the pizza guy to come? Are you giving other people computer advice? And what is it that you're doing when we're investigating? And what do you like the most about it?
Well, first of all, I am very much like Henry. I got a 48-inch screen, so I can see really well what you guys are doing when you guys are out there.
Cool.
I'd say my split is probably about 50-50 between catching you live and watching, your vids on YouTube, because I don't have notifications on. I refuse to turn them on because if I do, I belong to so many things. My phone and everything will just blow up. So I shut all my notifications off. I'm lucky to catch you guys a lot of times, and I check to see if you're on.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Plus, I'm not out of my meds. You're out of your meds, so I'm okay.
Ronnie, that's a fair point, bro. Another thing is, another angle on my life is Ronald and I go back way back to teenage days. So I've known Ronnie many, many moons. Definitely. Andy, do you have a question for Ron? Because you're my co-host tonight, I guess.
The co-host. I like the family.
All right, good job. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Great question.
Okay.
That was a statement. That was a statement. That was not a question.
I know. I wasn't ready.
And I've known Rich for probably like 40 years now, at least. Like 41 years.
Approximately, yeah.
And I slept, the guy that always talks about how he slept on everyone's couch, I actually slept on his couch. So there is that.
You did. Yep. And that's why I guess I was afforded other people's couches because of the karma. So you live right, you know what I mean? They'll come back and help you. That's all. But no, that's huge. But I love having you on the investigations, Ron. And how do one thing that caught me off guard about Ronald, and I don't know if you feel the same way, Bojo, right? He got into, remember before, if you remember the very beginning, he was kind of bucking at the structures, right? Do you remember that? He was kind of pulling back at the structures, Ronnie. And this is obviously your question for you, but where did you start to turn a little more? And I know you have an open mind in a sense, but your logical mind can sometimes shut the door, and you're a very logical man. So when it comes to thinking, not actual actions in life, but that's a different subject. But where was it where you started turning the corner a little bit, Ron, and started saying, maybe there is something to these structures? You know what I mean? Do you remember specifics?
Well, I can tell you that I can tell you my history as far as it goes with Bigfoot. And in the 70s, Bigfoot was a very hot topic. It was on television all the time. I remember being at my aunt's house and watching shows late at night about Bigfoot. So there was always a backstory of this whole quote unquote Bigfoot idea. But like you say, being an actual scientific guy, actually going to school, cardiovascular perfusion, doing research papers and all that stuff, you kind of take some of the surreal things in life, like UFOs, all these things, you put them on the back burner and you say, okay, that stuff's there. It could be real. It could be not. I've got other important things to do. And that was my mindset for a very long time. So it's actually refreshing, because knowing you for so long and you starting a show like this, for to bring a lot of these subjects up. And I know a lot of times you ignore me because I, throw you, texts, at all hours of the night about different stuff, giants and UFOs and all this other stuff I'm sending you late at night. But it's because I do have an interest in it. It's just most people, and Steve can attest to this, most people knew me as the crazy guy that did a shit ton of drugs, the devil and all this other stuff. That's how they knew me. My what do you call it? High school president, who was Lou Greenwald, he said that I was Satan. I mean, so that was my reputation growing up. And, so when people see me talking about things like this, they're automatically going to get turned off. They're not going to even listen to anything I have to say because a lot of them already think I'm crazy. But it is very refreshing to see, a show on this from somebody I've known for so long. It makes it, more accessible for me. And I always check and see how you do on your page and all that shit. So that's how I'm able to always catch you guys when you guys are in the woods. That's why it's only about 50-50 for me.
Well, at least I can say, Ron, knowing you all these years, I never thought I always thought you were a very interesting guy because you were different. You were different in a really not in a bad way at all. It's just you were just like, you separate yourself from, then you get the jocks and the freaks and everything else, but you just have a different overview on life compared to others. And people just, I'm sorry that they're wrong that, of how they attest to you, but you're an interesting guy then. You're still an interesting guy now in my eyes. And I just love that, you text me, I'll text in the night too. And I just love it. I mean, it's, you bring it. And I value, that we're, Christians and we have our talk about the Nephilims and things like that. I mean, but I'm glad you're here. I really am. It's great to hear your voice. It's been many years since we spoke.
Yep. Yeah, before we got on to here, right? And
I am hoping though that you will have a discussion I am hoping that you're going to have a discussion though about the Paluxy River and the 26-inch human-like footprints that they found alongside dinosaurs. I hope that we're going to have that discussion, like you said, because I do want to talk about the Nephilim and the giants, and that right there is like unrefutable proof because you had a riverbed that was stripped away of feet of limestone, and then all of a sudden they find all these prints that are together. And you even spoke about it probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 shows ago where you were talking about the 7-foot strides these big creatures were making, and there it was. They actually talked about those long strides that would be impossible for a normal sized person to make. Right. So I hope we are going to talk about that because it's pretty neat, these findings that they're coming up with now.
Well, no, and again, that's why I appreciate what you send me. But when you send me things too late night, I get up in the morning, I have 83 kids in a company, and I'm like, 3 days later, you're like, hey, did you read that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot I had it. You know what I mean? So it's just the timing of it has to be precise. You know what I mean? But of course, because we are going to revisit the Giants, and it is going to be a big part of our show. And that is an amazing point that he brought up. The big, like we discussed this, where we said specifically, and I'm sure this is why Ron brought it up, because the little things will stick in Ron's head, and then when he sees it, he'll put it together, or he'll go looking for it, one or the other. And one of the things we said was, why are we little with these little spears trying to kill dinosaurs? Why aren't we the same size as everybody else? Why weren't we big? It makes no freaking sense. It's stupid to consider that we were 5'6" and the plants were 10 foot tall. You know what I mean? You got a 10 foot tall plant, but a 5'6" guy with a spear trying to kill a 30-foot dinosaur. Makes no sense. Bullshit. It's not real. It didn't happen like that. Just stop. And I think what Ron brings up right there is something that could prove it. It's irrefutable. It's science. You know what I mean?
There's also another thing too. There's another thing too, like Steve talks about being Christian, and another thing that you can look at is creationism. Basically, says that everything was created at the same time, whereas traditional science or the evolutionary theory says that humans and dinosaurs did not exist at the same time. But this riverbed that was stripped of all that limestone that shows prints of both human and dinosaurs at the same time, because those layers represent time. So what it's showing is that they did exist at the same time. That's another thing that's, it doesn't really have to do with whether or not giants existed, but more so were humans and dinosaurs here at the same time. It proves more on the side of the creationist theorem of Christianity or those types of religions outside of whatever. It's very interesting, regardless.
Absolutely.
It is very interesting, and that's for another show, and we will absolutely do that. But again, my question to you was, where did you start to sway in the structure? Because I have the lives from when you first started watching, and you weren't really sure about the structures. What stands out? Was it the one that we found that was way behind the stump? What was it that stood out and when? You know what I mean? Like when specifics.
I can't remember. It was quite a while ago. I do remember one structure that you had found that was almost like a tent or a lean-to that was kind of made. It was kind of like a little cove that a person could actually lay inside, and there was enough cover to help prevent rain. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, that looks like it was made by somebody that was smart, that was trying to get out of the weather. But some of the other things about your show that I've seen, it's not necessarily straight. I'm still not totally on board with structures, and we can have a discussion another time about it. Only because over time, trees do funny things because of weather, holding ice and stuff like that. Years and years of ice, trees can do very funny things. But there were a few things within your show that were actually pretty cool as far as evidence. That one in particular, where you had all of those sticks all lined up in a row around the base of a tree trunk. I mean, somebody had to have put those there. That wasn't like just randomly the wind just threw them all together like that. Somebody was playing with sticks. So there's some things specifically that I've seen on your show that I'm very interested in.
That's cool. That's a good point.
Yeah, some of the points maybe not so much. I mean, because they're not like well defined enough for me to actually like make a decision one way or another. My mind is open. It's just I'm always going to be that scientific skeptic. I'm going to have to be convinced.
Good.
It's just the way I'm going to have to be convinced to actually do something to see. I've got to be able to see it.
Yep.
I'm Thomas.
100%.
I'm basically Thomas. I definitely am when it comes to stuff. So.
No, I love it. I think that's huge for us as investigators. We want that perspective. We want that, so to speak, scientific view or scientific skepticism. I think it's very important. It makes us better researchers. And on top of it, like you said, too, you're not standing in front of it, so it does look a little bit different on camera, on TV, or whatever you're watching from. But just to have you start swaying where you a couple of times, I remember when you first said, oh, wait, that was placed there. That doesn't make any sense. And that's when Ron started seeing it. And I had said to Wojo, I think, after one of the investigations, hey, Ronnie was picking up, too, on that shit. That was huge for us as investigators. You know what I mean? So No, it's huge, and I'm glad you brought that stuff up. That stick, the sticks you were talking about, I think that was when Trainer was there. Trainer found those leaning up against a tree, and they were pine sticks stuck up against an elm tree. And the pine trees were over here, and they were leaning up against the elm tree over here. So it was like they weren't even near each other. And then they have them all stuck. And then one I pulled out, and it was like that far into the ground, and had a little twist on it. And he was like, "Well, there it is."
Well, it was also 20 sticks that were about 16 inches long in a circle. I mean, it was like definitely something was playing with sticks. I mean, there's no way it was anything else. So that's the main.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick on here and pray my internet acts right. Well, Sam, you could always just come in. If you get booted, you get booted. I mean, again, we're not worried about a perfect show. You know what I mean? I tend to not have perfect shows. I would rather not have a perfect show. Perfect shows are boring. You know what I mean? So Andy, you're here now. Everybody, Andy's still here. I don't know if you noticed. Andy, keep it down, please. All right, thanks, bro. So when you're coming tomorrow in the afternoon, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna go right up until probably somewhere near dark. Wojo's at a family thing for a little while, but I wanted to bring you because I wanted to be out there with somebody that a little more experienced if we go over to the other location because it's a little bit more gritty, so to speak, right? And I'm not as familiar with that area as I am my own. So tomorrow when you're coming, now have you been, no, what investigation? The only one you've been with us on is New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you've been to my property, right, through the lens, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Down by the river and all that stuff, right? Is there a particular area that you've seen that stands out in your head that maybe you want to see tomorrow? Do you remember any part of it, like the benches out by the river or the college, which is a different location but not far from where we're going to be? Like what stands out in your head that you might want to go check out?
Actually, all of those, because I want to see the river.
What is it? He goes, all of it. I want to see everything.
All of it. The river.
Yep. I don't care if we stay out past dark. We'll have Wojo then.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Past dark. Well, you better be strapped because I'm not hanging around past dark without not being strapped. So I got to piss, so I'm up back out. Thanks, Ron.
That's something Richie would do. The other Rich.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Ron.
Ron,
well, thanks for being on the show, Ron. We appreciate you following us and support. Absolutely. Oh my God.
Yeah, Henry says we should
float the river with Andy. Well, that's one thing we had a plan for a long time was kayaking down that river, actually. So a couple of questions from the side I think we'll take, right? Water content in a tree would cause it to resonate differently, just like in a listen, absolutely the sounds and that's the thing about us. We just so you know, we take all that stuff into consideration. We take our winters. There you go, Tim Vogel's here. What's up? Another boots on the ground Bigfoot investigator right there, baby. What's up, my man? Good to see you, Mr. Tim Vogel. Cobble Mountain Critter Project. Make sure you check that out and follow it on Facebook. Hook our boy up. We got some. He's got some events going too, way out in Western Mass. Bring your Geiger counter, right? No doubt. Hey, get your Geiger counter.
I just ordered it.
Nice. There it is.
It'll be here Monday.
There you go. So on the side, for the people on the side that can't get into the studio and share, because I know you watch us virtually and things like that. So can you guys specifically type in, what? Like, I'll try to make it easy so you're not typing a book, but what stands out is the sounds, the structures, the prints, or the technique. What stands out for you guys? You know what I mean? So just type in one of those words, and then maybe we'll hit on those words after. As far as asking the next question goes. So, like Sam, D Hoot, which I know D Hoot's going to stay over there and watch our back door as far as, you know, being a moderator goes. Greatly appreciated, by the way. To the moderators, we appreciate you. Sam's a moderator. Ron's a moderator. D Hoot's a moderator. People that are keeping an eye on the back door, side doors, windows, make sure no scumbags come in and ruin our good time. So we appreciate you guys. Country, you as well, if you're still here and not having internet problems. If there's something that stands out to you during our live investigations that you like the best, is it the technique of finding things? Is it the structures or a specific structure that you've seen or a specific print that you've seen us get? You know what my favorite is? I'm going to tell you my favorite. My favorite was the hill. I just love the hill. I love it in 3D. I have it down here. It's so freaking huge and frightening looking when I look at it. I'm just like, every time I look at it, I get chills, bro. Like something that big step there. To me, there's no refuting it. I don't care what anybody says. It's a barefoot heel. It's not a boot print factory heel. It's very big. That 3D version of it is absolutely insane. You can see why you can't catch the front of that foot because of the terrain. Bless you. Because of the terrain that was there, you can see why you can't get it. It has a full explanation to it. It's right near the other print. It's right near the shelters. Right near the broken bone was found without any marrow. I mean, it's just all just brings it together for me. That heel was just so impressive, man. Just so impressive. And that's where I'm at. So if anybody on the side can bring something up, yeah, Ron, we know, Ron. Thanks, Ron. Ron's watching everybody. He just had a piss. Is there something on the side? To my virtual investigators, to Damian Smith, you're another one that's been out there watching us virtually. Bring up a subject or a part of the investigations that you guys like the most. Wojo, what stands out as evidence for you?
Standing out as
during
evidence
our live investigation. During live investigations, not like when we do anything else.
Right.
Like with these guys.
I mean, really, it was the the hill is up there. I think it's our first footprint that we casted, because we were like kind of like how we found it. There is a path. There's a path that we were walking on, and we kind of like, I think it was like a muddy area. We kind of like stepped away to go on a higher part of the land, and then all of a sudden we bumped into that foot. And not only that, my friend Darren was there, and he's like a really borderline skeptic, and for him to be there and see that, and you know, your son Maddox was there. I mean, it was kind of like a magical moment that to see that print. And not only that, after we saw that print, you know, I mean, Darren was like so overwhelmed that, you know, we in the compost you can still see some of the other prints, but not as defined as the one that we saw. And I'll tell you, it was just such a like, you know, heart pounding moment, like just to see, you know, it was like right near that area where we heard the whoops. So that was like my really defined moment of a live investigation, to just to see that, you know, off path. Because if, you know, we would never have known if we just kept walking, you know, that path. But we were trying to avoid the because we had a lot of rain and stuff like that, and we kind of like stepped off. That was incredible. And you know, like I said, your son was right there. It was a good father and son moment. Everything was taken in, because like Darren's like my best friend. Came up, he's living with me right now. Moved up from North Carolina, and he wanted to see what we're seeing. And our first time out, he was blown away of everything we saw, especially that track.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Andy, you got a piece of evidence that sticks out to you?
I like the structures. I like the I was hoping to see the dream catcher before it was destroyed, but I've seen it in pictures. So
sorry.
But
yes,
I like to see those huts.
Oh, the huts.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna show you. Yeah, the one on River Street, and then the Western Mass one he could get to easily. That's closer to his house.
When I was a kid,
go ahead.
My aunt and uncle used to own a huge part of land, and I can remember seeing stuff like that back then. Now I can remember it, but back then it didn't mean anything.
Right.
So
we just never know what goes on in the woods, Andy. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's what we did. We just all day we're out in the woods, and there was always a stream there, and just weren't really paying attention to stuff like that back then.
Right.
But now you think back, and they were there back then.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you start putting them together in your head from many years ago, trying to reinvestigate them in your mind and what you can remember. Yeah, I see that. That's a good point. I never even thought of that. And Kelly Porter, what's up, my man? New Hampshire Bigfoot Society, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your continued support. Grab them boots because you're gonna be trekking through the woods with us someday really soon. I feel, sir. Would love to have you. So let's see here. We got a couple of things here. D who brings up. And now D Hoot has watched all the investigations. She's just as loyal as the next, man. Unbelievable support and love and appreciate it. I like the input from everyone participating, boots up or on the ground. Most folks bring something interesting to the investigation. My personal favorite is the combination Bigfoot / paranormal episode. Yes, that was it with Phil with 2 L's. Yeah, 100%. That's awesome. Thank you for that, T. And the scans. The scans are very impressive. I love the scans very much. Damien says, Dreamcatcher, that was unique and wow, but saw my first 3D print. And then I learned you also did live, and I was hooked like a kid with an ice cream truck. But love was oozing with love and passion also. Yeah, no doubt, man. Absolutely. Yeah, well said. Yeah, D, that is well said. Sam, structure scans and the howls. Yes. And Sam was huge here that time. We had that vocalization behind where I was trying to tell people that it was not a dog. And she was there to kind of defend me and be like, nope, I got my headphones on. I know what I heard. So that's awesome. And Shadowside Paranormal, Rich Glidden, it is a lot of fun. No, and that's the key too. And you know what? It's somewhat like the podcast where we're kind of loose. We have some fun. We joke. I get the fall in my face once. Smell like sewage. Everybody have a good chuckle at my expense. So we do have some fun. You know what I mean? But we get serious, man. And you got to be serious when you're out in these woods, man. I don't care how small the patch of woods is. One mistake, and I don't care, man. Mother Nature will take you. It does not matter. You've got to be careful. Now, imagine me out there by myself during that, falling in the pond or the lake or the river, whatever, not knowing the depth of what I was stepping into, and I break my ankle, and it's near dark, and I got to try to get out of the woods, right, before the predators come or something, right? That's a dangerous situation that's created, and I'm a mile from the road. I'm not out in Alaska or British Columbia. I'm a mile from the road, but that 1 mile from the road with a broken ankle or whatever the case might be can be all it takes. So it's not a game either. You know what I mean? So when we need to be serious, we're very serious. But when we have fun, we definitely have a lot of fun. And I love having, I'll bring up a comment because shit that comes out my mouth, we all know, is very random. I don't always control it. It's the others. And then somebody will add to it, but I'm watching the investigation. Then I go back and see it 5 minutes later. I'm dying laughing again, going, oh, I didn't get it from that perspective. And it's fun. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of fun. Do you have any funny moments from the lives that you liked, Wojo? Besides me falling on my face? Well, I guess not besides. That's part of it. But
well, I mean, you have to admit, like when we heard that, the crashing, like, it was like 40 feet from us. It was a surreal moment, and as horrified as we were like pursuing to hopefully flush one out, is when we had our little conversation, like the little last rites as a joke, and then I said, we're the greatest softball champions of this town's ever had, and we did laugh, because we're horrified. We're like, what the frig? And then all of a sudden back to getting serious again, because that's where we heard the whistle. And you know, it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell, you know? But we just have fun. I mean, that's the bottom line, folks. It's just, we just have fun. But I mean, but we do have those like serious moments. And hearing that whistle, man, we went from like really laughing our butts off to like that whistle and like, what the fuck was that? Just like that's just, you know.
Right. But let me stop you there. Sorry, but you know what? And I've been meaning to say this to you because something happened before the whistle for you to put your hand up, and I don't remember what it was. I think we were hearing scuffling or something off, like a crack or something got our attention because we were laughing, and then your hand comes up, and I remember going, "What was that?" You know what I mean? Like we almost heard something else, and then the whistle. Do you remember specifically what the sound was we heard?
It wasn't like a mimicking. I at first, like, you know, I thought it was like a clock or what. It was a vocal. It was like a mimicking sound. Yeah. Because I remember, like, I don't know. We weren't sure because remember I had you in my truck. I went by Richie's work and we have a Bose system obviously in my truck, and it's like a surround system, and I was playing it for Richie that whole segment, but we could hear it, and we were like, dude, what was that? It sounded like a vocal. And then that's when, you know, and then the whistle came around, and then that little slight soft knock. And, you know, it was like surreal that we got like 3 responses in that split, like, you know, 15 seconds. And I don't know, it's just, like for an example, we were at the river, and we're sitting on the benches, and you know, with Eric Vogel and Lisa, you know, we had some laughs, and then like, you know, we were talking. Then we got serious and talked about soft knocks, and then as we were speaking, my phone picked up a soft knock behind us, and Richie goes, "Shh! Did anybody hear that?" He goes, "Didn't that sound like a soft knock?" Now Richie's got like crazy ears, man, and I'll tell you, I mean, and I heard that. It was great that we both picked up on it, and excuse me, and Eric's like, "I didn't hear nothing," and it's like, Richie's got freaking radar ears, but for some reason I heard that, and because you were like this, and I was like turning around, and I'm like, where did that come from? And then I have him in my truck, and I have the volume full, you know, full blast, and you can hear that boop, slight knock.
Yep. And it was after I was doing something I've never done before. I said it. Remember, I kept slowly tapping. I was softly tapping the tree, going, "I'm going to try something new." Again, this was on the live. If you watch the lives, you'll know these things, and they're instantly validated. Because imagine if we didn't have the lives, and I'm sitting here talking, and I'm telling you how for the first time ever I soft knocked on this tree, and then I got a soft knock back. Right? Yeah. You'd be like, "Okay, guy," you know what I mean? Now listen, you people heard me soft knocking and say, "I've never really done this. Let's try and do something different." And I was just tapping.
Yeah.
Tapping.
Because we learn as we go. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, we try new things. But that validates it that I walked away because I was like, I heard something that sounded just like my knock.
You did.
I was trying to say a soft knock. And then you pick up on it, and it's on recording. We have it on record on your phone, correct?
Yeah, on my phone. I was freaked out on that to hear that. And where Lisa was, there's 2 benches, and Lisa was sitting there, and sorry, I was just thinking of the little conversation we had after the fact. But I was surprised she thought she heard something, but she wasn't even sure. But I definitely heard something, and then you responded, "Is that a soft knock?" I'm like, son of a bitch, it worked. Yeah, you know, it's just that, you know, that's like you know, like Richie will have like the Ohio sound on his phone, and this is before we started doing the live. He had his GoPro on, and he would play that. So Andy, where we were again at the river, when he played that, like 30 seconds or 45 seconds later, all you hear is this tree slam, like 2 tree slams that echoed. And we were like, shh, what the hell was that? And then behind us was a very loud response and a crash. Like you could feel like, something heavy like going through the woods. And he goes like this. He's just like looking at me going, I think we're being flanked. I'm sitting there frozen. My hands are going through my sweatshirt. I'm going, what the frig was that? I mean, that was like my first jolting moment on our investigations.
Yeah, that was your first. Yeah, that was. It was like 0
what
degrees
last
out.
thing, Rich?
So cold that day.
And Richie, during live investigation. Sam. Sam can contest to that. And Richie's explaining, a tree arch of a tree, and then he's like, and then the last thing he said was, whoop like that. I don't know why he said it, but he said that. And all of a sudden you can hear whoop, whoop, whoop in the background. And he's like, shh, what that? I barely heard something. My brother was like, I think it might be a dog. Richie's like, no way it's a dog. He goes, what the frig was that? And so we just stood there quietly. And then we played it back. And then you could hear it clear as day, like, in the background. And then walking out in that same direction where we heard those whoops. And then a sharp whistle as we're walking completely out of the woods, because we found like we were behind someone's house, the junkyard or whatever. There was a huge acres of land. That and all you hear is that whoop, like a whistle. I can't do it. And then we both looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? It was definitely a whistle, but it was like kind of like, bye guys, they're leaving. Yeah, they were letting. Yeah, they were letting the other ones know that we were gone in case we weren't in their vision. So the watcher face reaction was like, that's the thing.
I was like, you motherfuckers!
Oh yeah,
I was so mad. Like, just show yourself and stop it.
And that's when your video. That's when your phone was dying. You had like 3% left, and you had to say goodbye. And then you turn around, bye, Forest people, whatever. And I'm looking at it like, what? And then next thing you know, we get a whistle. I'm like, I can't believe we're getting a freaking whistle as we're walking out. Are you shitting me? But it was.
Yeah, that's happened. That's happened. So Andy, when we go to the river tomorrow, Andy, I'm going to bring you over there. We'll do some soft tapping, and we'll just keep trying that because it worked. So we'll try it, and I think they'll. It's less aggressive. It's not us trying to copy them or be them or anything like that. They won't seem, maybe they won't be insulted that the stupid humans coming over there doing, shit that they do. You know what I mean? So I think we'll attempt that. I think that'll be one thing that'll be fun. I'll have things fully charged up. I have my battery pack fully charged that our friend Henry gave me. Thank you, Henry. That'll be in use for the first time tomorrow. We bought a six-piece walkie-talkie set, 6-piece. So we'll all have a walkie-talkie tomorrow and be able to communicate. And you say, well, why is that? You don't drift off. But it's like literally, Andy, you stand right next to each other and you can just go.
You never know.
And nobody else hears you. You're not going, hey, over here. You know what I mean? So
next
stuff
clips,
like that. So you can have it on quiet, silent. You can adjust all that stuff. Yeah. So no, I'm super psyched, and it has like a little light on it. You can set to SOS, so you can just have it mainly streaming, so I can see wherever you are in the woods if it's getting dark or whatever the case might be. So we have some things that we're going to be using tomorrow. Super psyched. I figure if you stay the night, because you said you got a place down the street for the night, if you could stick around a little bit in the morning. I'll pick you, meet up with you. We'll jump in the Mustang with the top down and maybe go grab breakfast on Monday morning. Like little kids. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to come around here, I might as well.
You're going to get arrested.
We'll do it. We're going to do a smoke show somewhere. The only question that a cop will have when he pulls up is two things. One, what's your problem and where are your pants, sir? I'll be like, Andy never wears pants.
And you know what the cop's going to say? Like, he's going to ask Andy, what's going on here? And he's going to go, I don't know. Because Andy doesn't say much. That guy's got a problem.
Andy's got. Hey, look at Andy's got to run from the cops.
Are you gonna bring your moonshine, Andy?
Yeah, I got a little left.
I don't drink it. Yeah. Wojo, no, Richie don't drink it, especially moonshine. Jeez, well,
I'll just drink Richie. We'll just pour it in the gas tank.
Yeah, you can have mine. Give him my share. Ron wants to know, Wojo, did you pee a little when you heard that slamming and stuff, and when we thought we were being flanked?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ron. As a tough guy I can be, I'll tell you right now, I was scared. I mean, there was something a lot bigger than me. The way the two knocks sounded like tree slams, but just the way it echoed, it reminded me of the tree knock that Richie has on his video, how loud. It was just like anger, and it just echoed. But there was two across the way on the river, but it was the backside on our side where we were walking on the path. When you hear like slant, another knock back, and then crunching, and it sounded like something was like running through the woods, like way back there. Dude, I was like, what the F? It was scary.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. And that's what happens sometimes, I notice, is that it's sporadically, spontaneously, and abruptly, or however you want to put it, and it only lasts like a short time where it just blows up, and then everything will be quiet. And it does that a lot. And it's almost like they're repositioning themselves to get distance from you and go away, or they're trying to get you to go away. And it's happened a lot. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we happen to be there when all these incidences happen. Right. Because we're there when they are. That's why those incidences happen. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's standing there, it doesn't make a noise. Well, they're not making these noises when we're not there. They're not going to slam and bang like that. There's no need for them to do that. There usually seemingly is a need to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, also too, Rich, is that at that time, I would say like a couple of investigations after that, like within a month or so of our investigation, the rock clacking that we got the following week was where we brought my brother out there.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And I had the parabol on. And I put it over Richie's ears. I go, tell me what you hear. Because the rock clacking was getting closer, but it stopped. And then you can hear like heavy, like soft. Well, when I mean heavy, soft, it's like it's heavy, but it's like it's trying to like walk through like quietly. You can hear like it's walking. And Rich goes, "Oh my God, it's yeah." And then we went to a different area nearby, and Richie was on live then, and we got all these whistles, human-like whistles. He was going back and forth. I'm sitting there with a parabol going back and forth, and I was like, like who the hell is out in these woods making these whistles? And then that's when the forest came alive and the birds and whatever. But we looked at each other like, what the frick was that? That was going on for like a good over a minute. It was like 8 whistles a piece that these two were doing. But like I said, it's wild stuff when least expected. That's what it is, least expected. I mean, it's exhilarating. I mean, shit. We find a footprint. Rich smells like piss. I walk up to him. He's like going like this. It's gone. And the next thing you know, we start going in, and then boom, 4 big strides, and the snaps like really blew me away. It was just so unbelievable. But that was least expected.
There was a lot to take on, man.
Right.
Yeah.
We were like,
there was a
holy
lot
shit.
to take on that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy is that they almost like bamboozle you. You know what I mean? To use the word, like I'm bamboozled because I got like 5 noises. You get the mass. You got all these different, like, you sit there going, oh, I heard the stride, I heard the tree break, did he grunt? I'm pretty sure he grunted. I thought I heard a vocalization when he was running.
Right.
You try to put all these things together. It's like they do it on purpose. So they know that you're not going to have a clear answer. You know what I mean? It's crazy because every incident I've been in, I almost find myself staggering and almost stuttering. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, you know what I mean?
It's shock.
You know, the other night when I said that, yeah, it is. It's shock. Yeah, when that happened, I said I heard a huff. Like I thought, I swear to you to this day, I heard like when it was busting through, I thought I heard like that. That's why I put the sound together. So the tree branches don't stick out as much to me. You know what I mean? The stride and what I thought I heard was a huff or two was like like you're like an athlete running like you know what I mean? That's what I picked up on. That's what just stands out to me. But then something stands out to him. It's almost like they do it on purpose. It's crazy, dude.
Well, don't forget, we had a little distance between us, though. What I'm saying is, you know, I'm kind of like, you know,
oh yeah, no, we were right back
on an angle, like, you know, to
right.
Richie's left. You know, and it was just crazy.
Yep. Only noise that may get response is old rope swing above the head, and Whoop says, "Oh, interesting. Yeah, good point. Another one from Damien. Boof."
No, I didn't physically pee my pants, but I'll tell you right now, the hairs went right through my sweatshirt. Ron. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true though.
I think it would have came out the other way, Ron, if it showed itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Exactly. Absolutely. Well, Andy, thank you for being here and hanging out with us. We were just talking for the last 15, 20 minutes. Sorry. But it just gets exciting. And I know you were there for some of that. You can see either you see it through the screen or you've been there physically up in New Hampshire. Tomorrow you're going to be there physically again. I'm glad we were kind of last minute able to kind of throw it together to make sure. You know what I mean? We will be having expeditions with the whole team. It's just that when we get this spontaneity where we're like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, are you free? Guys got to check their own schedules out and then throw it out to us. And then we're like, hell, I didn't know I was free until hours ago. You know what I mean? I was like, let me put something together. I knew you mentioned it the other day, but it was just kind of throwing it together. So, but there will be expeditions coming. We have to have a team meeting, and then we're going to have set up expeditions to where everybody can be part of them. Where we can have, GoPro Live or YouTube Live or something to where we can all do it as a team and bring it to everybody out there, which I think would be awesome if everybody's attached to their own separate destinations or whatever, and we just go around and just do an investigation and just have some chaos in the woods. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Organized chaos, so I think it's huge. So I will see you tomorrow, my friend. Thank you for making the time, and I'm glad it worked out. And it's going to work out because I'll see you tomorrow, like I said, in the afternoon. All right? We're going to raise a lot of hell and start a lot of trouble. No pants are required, but I just want there's no hugging. There's just no hugging when we're in person, okay? Right, Vogel? If Tim Vogel's out there, not a hugger, no hugging, especially with no pants on. I'm sure that wouldn't go over.
He's a fist bumper.
Yeah. So Andy, when you do come up here, though, Andy, it's going to be just like your hat. We're going to be shipping up from Boston. Oh! He's got his Dropkick Murphy's hat. I love it.
What?
Taco blend cheese and sriracha mayo.
All right, taco blend cheese and sriracha
mayo. Coming over.
We're gonna start doing new things on the show, like enjoying our dinners. Drop some sriracha mayo. So thank you, Andy, for being here.
All right.
Thanks, Andy.
I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
Good night, Andy. All right. Well,
great show.
I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it. So, Animal Paranormal podcast is not on tonight. He usually follows us on Saturday nights, but there is some storms down there, as you heard Sam from Sam's Pretty Paranormal. We pray and hope that you're all safe. You're all safe. I believe Florida it's a hurricane now or something that Animal's dealing with, and it's reaching all the way up to North Carolina. So storms, anyways. So everybody, please stay safe out there. So there is no animal paranormal podcast tonight. He will be back next week at 8 o'clock. Make sure you go over and like and subscribe to his channel. Follow him wherever he is on all his social media. Really good dude. We have a lot of collaborations with him coming up in the future. Our friend Sean Kelly, Sunday night, 8:10 p.m. Make sure you watch him tomorrow night and Tuesday. Make sure you watch them. Make sure you get over to the Cobble Mountain Critters Project for the Vogel brothers, our boys, and part of our investigative team. We will be going live tomorrow. I'm going to say approximately 3 to 3:30. I have a doubleheader in softball late. It gets over around a little after 2, so I'm going to meet Andy around 2:30. And so between 3 and 3:30, watch for me to go live. If you actually hit the notify button inside YouTube, Mr. Technology, not on your whole phone, just inside YouTube, just YouTube will notify you of me going out in the woods, just so you know. I just want to clarify that. So if you just hit the notify bell inside YouTube, you will get notified of when we are in the woods, just through YouTube. Not all your notifications will go off.
Right.
So make sure, Woj, you got anything to add to this kick-ass, cool, ADD-filled show? Because I loved it, because there was people coming in and out and talking. I just was like, ah! You know what I mean?
Well, no, I just love that everyone's out, their perspective of what they're seeing and talking about our investigations, what's their favorite and everything. And you know what? If there's something they want to see that we can do better, that's great. Like it's very constructive questions and answers. I just absolutely love it. And yeah, so like I said, thank you all you guys. Ron, it was great talking to you again. Andy and Henry, and hopefully we can get Country Boy on here and Sam's Paranormal and other people that are out there, because you know what, you guys are family to us. And like I said, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Watch for the show update for next Saturday night. I have a few things planned, a few things in mind. I have been working on technology as far as the calendar goes for people to kind of book themselves in. I've been having issues with that, blah, blah, blah. So stay tuned for that. I have a good idea for the show next week. Rich from Shadowside, I'll reach out to you and let you know about the meetings, the group meetings, boots on the ground, Bigfoot investigations. It's just, when you get a group like that together, it's not always easy to get everybody together at the same time, but we're going to be just fine. We're going to work on that. Make sure in the meantime, you go over to TikTok and follow me on TikTok. I just got over 1,000 followers on TikTok. That was cool. Instagram, we're right near 500. All the same name, Banter Richie B. Go over to Facebook. We're at 500 there, and we're building, so that's good. And YouTube, of course, we're up towards the high fives now. So we're building, man. I'm not in a rush to go, try to do all this other stuff. It's got to build up on its own way and its own part, natural process. I'm okay with. You know what I mean? I love it. That means we have a good foundation, a bunch of good, dedicated people that want to hang with us. Way more important to me than numbers. So anyways, definitely go over there. All the social media platforms, Banter with Richie B. Watch for Boots on the Ground, Bigfoot investigations. As we have our meetings, we will start having some merchandise. We will start having websites. We will start having investigations. We will start bringing you guys live investigations in a whole different way. And watch out for the Boots on the Ground database coming. So there's all kinds of things coming, man. You just got to stay with us and be patient, because this stuff takes a lot of work and a lot of patience, right? Steve got to say bye to the merch. Yeah, I'm in the middle of talking, okay? Thank you all for being here, Damien and Ron and Shadowside and Kelly Porter and Dehu and Sam and Henry and everybody that was here. Mary, I love you. Thank you for everybody out there watching. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys keep climbing. I love you, baby Jack. We'll see you. And Wojo, take it away, my man.
All right. Buy the merch. Keep climbing. Boom! Let's go! Come on! Get in here!
See you tomorrow during the live. Let's go!